I've been wanting to get back into Korean for a while now, but I held back because I knew that I was going to be busy with school and I didn't really want to start and restart a bunch of times. So I held back. I waited for months. But then I finally handed in my thesis and freed up all this time to finally learn languages again. And here we are for my first month of learning Korean update. I had pretty much lost all of my previous knowledge, like I couldn't even read some of the letters and letter combinations anymore. And it's not like last time I was learning Korean I had reached a super high level or anything, but at least I was at a level where I could read graded readers and learn from them, like I would get something out of reading. Whereas a month ago, I couldn't even read in the first place. So I had to go back to level 0.5 and start from pretty much the basics. And I had it all planned out. Like, I knew what I was going to do that month, the activities, how much, but then life was lifing. Let's hear what Past Me had in mind and then how it actually rolled out. Thank you. I think what I'm going to do is basically start again from zero because I've unfortunately forgotten a lot of my Korean. I can still read it very slowly, but some of the letter combinations, I'm not even sure anymore how to pronounce them. And it's funny because I remember that those letter combinations made me struggle before, and now I'm struggling again with the exact same letters. So we're gonna have to solve that problem. And I think the Migaku Fundamentals course is intended to teach you the letters and the sounds and the sound combinations. So I'm gonna go through that, but I do not want to spend too much time on it because I remember most of the letters, just some of them I do not. So I'm probably just gonna go through that, see which ones I don't know, study those, learn about those, and then move on to the Migaku Academy. Because I think that once I am going through the Migaku Academy, I will probably see the letters and the sound combinations and all that more than enough to hopefully learn them there as well. So yeah, the Migaku Academy is essentially a course intended to teach you vocabulary and grammar in an I+1 order. So you learn them through flashcards, and on every flashcard, you only learn one piece of new information. So you're basically reinforcing things you learned in earlier lessons on later lessons again and again, which should solidify a lot of what you're learning throughout the course. I will say, since I am in no rush to be good anytime soon, I think I'll take it really slow at like 7 to 10 new flashcards a day and just see how reviews stack up, because I really do not want to get into review hell where, I'm sitting there for like hours every day just grinding reviews. That is not my intention with learning Korean. And then depending on how things are going, how my reviews are looking, how my retention is, I can see if, I want to maybe learn more cards or less cards, or if I need another grammar resource to explain things to me a little more, and we'll go from there. Now, one more thing is that last time I was learning Korean, I was doing a lot of reading and comparatively little listening. And I think I want to try to keep that a little more balanced this time around so that I can, just develop my skills more evenly and not be so reading heavy. Right now what I'm thinking is to start watching comprehensible input videos around probably 200, 300 known words. I'm not sure if there's a point watching anything before that because you just don't know anything. But I'll see, I guess, and then I'll start reading a little after that. And I'm not sure what I want the ratio to be, maybe just like 30 minutes of watching things a day and then like 30 minutes, 20 minutes reading or something, but I'm gonna have to see how things are once I actually know some words. Yeah, so thank you for that. That was what I originally had in mind, but then my month went very differently. It was all chaotic, but I managed somehow. I filmed some clips along the way, and I will then follow up with a little status update for what's going on now, where I'm at now, and for some goals for the next couple of months. Man, I'm so excited every morning to wake up and do the academy course. I don't know what it is about that initial phase where you're like a super beginner and literally everything is new, but there's something really fun about it. And me being pretty bad at Korean, I had to relearn some of the letters, obviously, and then I am currently going through like the super very basic beginner grammar, which is just so much fun rediscovering that. And I'm sure that will change once I have more reviews and I'm like, ugh, there's still so much grammar to learn. But right now, I'm just so excited to learn Korean again. I just watched some comprehensible input and I gotta say, okay, first of all, I tried watching something like quote unquote normal, right? Like just a normal Korean video. Absolutely hopeless. There's literally a 0% chance that I'm gonna learn anything from that. I then tried like normal comprehensible input channels. Utterly hopeless. I mean, I don't really know what I'm hoping for with my like 10 words that I know, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna recognize a whole bunch or anything really. But I found this one channel that it's really repetitive, but it's so nice to just kind of have something that I can understand, to have this tiny amount of success. So this is what the channel is called, but specifically, this playlist is so good. Like, it's just, I don't really watch all of the videos because, as I said, they're really repetitive, but I just like that, you know, like this one, for example, you learn the color words and you just learn them for like 50 minutes straight. And after that, you're gonna remember them, trust me. And I mean, he seems to have a lot of other videos as well, so that once I know some words, maybe I'll go through some of these lists, see if there's anything I can understand. Worst case, I mean, I also have this entire list of channels I subscribe to that are all comprehensible input, and I can't wait to start watching some of this stuff. My neighbor has been drilling and hammering away for days at this point. I am slowly but surely going insane. So I'm on my way to the library and hope to get some studying done there, maybe, ideally. So that is how my first month of learning Korean went. Not exactly as planned, a little chaotic, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little annoyed there for a while. Not just because of the Korean learning, obviously, I just wanted to rest after writing my thesis, but I shall not be granted rest. But the trip was a lot of fun, and all things considered, I think I managed really well. I reviewed my cards every single day, and I added new cards on almost all days. And now I'm back, and the construction is almost over. Today marks the 1 month and 3 day anniversary, so let me give you a little insight where I was at exactly 1 month, 31 days of learning Korean. I added between 10 and 20 new cards from the Korean Academy on 26 out of 31 days, and did my reviews, as I said, every single day. Editor, I'm here just to clarify why there's a range of new cards I add every day and why I'm not just sticking to the same number of cards every day. So the way Migaku structures their cards is that sometimes if you stick to a set number of cards, you might enter a new lesson, and with new lessons come new cards. But if you've already learned, let's say, 9 cards for the day, and you enter that new lesson with only 1 card left, then you're only going to see 1 card in the new lesson. And I wanted to make sure that I always see all the cards in every lesson. So sometimes I would add a few more cards, or sometimes I would not do as many cards so I wouldn't enter a new lesson. I don't know if that makes sense. Also, that's obviously totally just a personal choice. You can absolutely go through the course just at a set number of cards, but I wanted to do it this way. At the 1 month mark, I was at 384 cards learned, and according to Migaku, I knew 218 Korean words. there's like a 14-day delay between when you see a card for the first time and you review it and reviewed, and then it gets added to your known word count. So that's why there is this gap between how many cards I've learned and how many words I know according to Migaku. Now, I will say for immersion, I was doing fine for the first week and a half, 2 weeks-ish, but then once I went on my trip, out the window. I did not immerse at all during that time, so for the first month, I only immersed 5 hours and 44 minutes in total, which honestly, I don't mind. I was doing my reviews, I was learning my vocabulary and grammar, so I think in the beginning that is probably the better strategy anyways, because you can really learn a lot from immersing in things you don't understand. The 5 hour 44 minutes also do not include the time I spent on Migaku Memory. I did not track that time because I just didn't feel the need to, especially because on average my reviews are really low and I probably spent like 20 to 30 minutes reviewing and learning new cards every day. But I have decided for the second month I will start tracking how much time I am spending on flashcards just to get a rough idea where I'm currently at, especially as reviews start to ramp up a little bit. You may have noticed that I did not at all talk about reading, which is because I just haven't read anything this entire time. And I definitely still want to get into reading. I still have a lot of graded readers from when I was learning Korean before, but I also found a few new ones that look really interesting. And I think reading is a really good way to increase your vocabulary, your understanding of the language, your grammar knowledge. But I just didn't have the time, and so I pushed it back for a little while. I know it's not a lot, but it's also only the first month, and I'm feeling pretty good about the progress that I've made so far. I know it's not the fastest, I know there's still so much to learn, but I don't care. I think 30 minutes of daily vocabulary slash grammar study is really sustainable for the time being, and then add some reading and listening onto that. I don't think that's unrealistic at all. So going forward, that is also my goal. Keep up with my reviews, keep up with my new cards in the Migaku Academy, and then add some extra listening and soon reading onto that.